Welcome back, guys. So this video I'm just going to be going over the new project car that I've acquired. Unfortunately the Corolla is sold. That was sold quite a while ago, so I thought I'd just talk a little bit about the Corolla, why I sold it and what I've ended up with now. I actually changed cars more than, I don't even know, I changed cars a lot. I've been through probably close to 50 cars since I've had my license in 5-6 years. So yeah, it's a few compared to some people who have one car for 10 years, you know. So firstly, the Corolla was a project I had before I went back to work. I was off work for a while and I basically bought that as a bit of a project, something to do. And I did plan to keep it. I wanted to put a 4-age in it and make it a nice street car. But the price of 4-ages at the moment and basically everything that was going to cost was a little bit too much. Whereas I was able to sell the car at the right time, make a little bit of money on it, which I needed at the time, and it just worked better that way. Turns out the owner that bought it has put a 4-age in it. I'll put a photo up right now, and it's looking awesome. He's going to bring it around once it's all finished, so hopefully I'll get a video of a drive once he's finished it all up. I don't actually know him, but he said he was happy to show me progress shots of the car, so I said keep me updated when everything's all finished. But I'm stoked to see someone's done the right thing and on to bigger and better things. I did actually get some nice photos of the Corolla before I sold it. Me and my housemate actually went with a friend of mine that is a professional photographer, car photographer, and he's done some photos of another car of mine in the past. So I asked him if he could take some of the Corolla before I sold it, and he was happy enough to do that. So we went and got some photos. I'll put a few of them up on the screen right now so you can see what they're like. They come out really awesome. We found a cool spot, and it's good to get a couple of nice photos before the car actually got sold. Anyway, that's the Corolla. Unfortunately, that's sold. That might happen a fair bit on this channel, is one car might be halfway through something and then I decide to sell it. That's just unfortunately what I'm like. But this right here is the newest project, a 1990 Unox Roadster, or MX-5, Miata, whatever you want to call it. It's got plenty of different names. And yeah, we'll go over the car and show you what it's like. So this car here was actually bought about a month and a half ago. It had been sitting for about 3 years, not started. It was covered in cobwebs, covered in rat shit, all sorts of stuff, stale fuel, and just needed a lot of love. We actually bought a car off the same owner to fix my girlfriend's car at the time, and this was sitting next to it, which I tried to buy off him, and he was reluctant at the time just simply because he didn't know what he was going to do with it. He thought he was going to finish it, and eventually gave in to pressure and realised he was basically happy to sell it. And I was lucky enough to pick it up. Got it for not a bad price, and one of the best things about it is it's actually supercharged, which to me makes this little car perfect. MX-5s are a really fun car, and I feel like you can't insult them until you've driven one. I wasn't a big fan of them basically until I test drove one for my girlfriend, and I fell in love with them straight away. They handle unreal, and the only thing they really need is a little bit of extra power, which this model here luckily has. So basic rundown of the car. It's a 1990 model. It's got 130,000 Ks on the clock. Basically all factory looking in the boot, spare wheel, boot, all complete, nothing really irregular there. The paint is definitely needing a cut and polish. As you can see, this front guard has been changed. I did this just before a track day because the old guard was hit right at the front here, and basically it was scrubbing every time I was full lock to the left, so I had to fix that before the track. I'm going to send this off to the panel beaters soon, get this guard resprayed blue and get the whole car cut and polished. I think it'll just come up so much better. There's a few little hail marks because it was sitting half in a carport, half in the weather, but I'm actually surprised the paint itself isn't too bad. I managed to score these aftermarket smoke driving lights, which is really nice because I haven't actually seen another pair of them, and they just top it off. I think they'll be a bit nicer once the car's completely blue. When I bought the car, it was actually sitting on these wheels here, which I'm not a massive fan of. I mean, they aren't the worst, but it turns out the front left was actually buckled and was giving some awesome vibrations at anything over 60 Ks. So I decided to chuck these cheap rotors on, picked up a full set of 4 with tyres and 2 brand new spares for $900, so I couldn't really say no to that. They are pretty good with the fitment, and the tyres are actually really good. They went really well on the track day. Once they were warm, they were a lot better, but overall, they were a really good tyre. As far as the interior goes, it's got the Roadster trim here, fire extinguisher mount there. The interior is actually really clean. It's got these polished handbrake cover and shift knob, which I really like. I've already put the head unit in. It basically was missing the air vents, a bit of trim, and like the surrounds here, which I've all put in and just tried to tidy it up. Not sure about the Momo steering wheel. I know some of these come factory with Nardis and Momos so on, but I haven't seen one with a flat bottom before, so I'm not sure whether this is factory or aftermarket steering wheel. So it actually has a glass rear window, which is awesome because it comes with a demister. Even though it's not wired up yet, it's there ready to go, which a lot of them have the plastic and it does turn to shit really quickly. On the dash, someone's put aftermarket purple LED lights behind, which aren't very bright, so it makes it a bit hard to see at night, but it does have a shift light, which is super nice. Makes it feel a bit more like a race car. It does have these aftermarket mirrors as well, which I haven't seen on another NA model before, but I'm not a huge fan of them. I reckon if they were black, they might be a little bit nicer. I'm not huge on chrome, but something different. And now for the fun part is the supercharged motor. So it's a Jackson Racing side mount supercharger, which I don't actually know much about. I've done some research on them and I can only find rebuild kits for them. I know they don't actually make them anymore for this car. So I'm in the process of trying to get this car tuned again because it is running fairly rich. As you can see, bonnet, like under the bonnet, is still a bit filthy. It had sat for 3 years, so I've spent a lot of time cleaning this and it does still need more cleaning, which I'll get around to at some point. But it's actually quite a nice little setup, very compact little unit. It does have a water injection over here. That's what that little red thing is a pump for water injection. But it's got a little soft bag that holds the water for your wipers as well as the water injection, which is ripped and therefore not holding any water. So I'll need to replace a couple of things under here, like the overflow bottle that's cracked, and I want to repaint the rocker cover, just tidy a few things up, give it a pressure clean hopefully. And basically all I've done is given it a good service, cleaned it up as best I can, replaced a few parts and driven it to see what it's like and basically enjoy it. It has got bigger injectors in it, and I think that's one of the reasons it is running rich, because I piggyback off the stock ECU, sorry. So I think basically I've been told I need to throw a Howtech in it or something a bit more advanced for anyone to want to touch it. So if I can find an ECU cheap enough without breaking the bank, then I think I'll go ahead with it and it'll be a fun little car. But yeah, that is the MX-5 Miata Unos Roadster, whatever you wish to call it. It's a great little car. I'm not sure what the plans are for it yet. Probably just tidy a few more things up, get it running really well if I can, hopefully get it tuned, get the guard painted. So I'll run a little video now just of a sneak peek of what the track day looked like, and then in the next video I'll kind of throw them all together. I've got a few clips from the same day, and then show you what this car was like on the track, and yeah, give you a little run through. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video guys and you want to see more of this little rig, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.